thrive, and others with little opportunity will overcome diversity to thrive nonetheless. So this means that if you as an individual, you are prepared and you have a positive mindset, of course, you can achieve it faster than one who does not really, have that kind of mindset. And the following are common examples of economic opportunities. Actually, I prepared for a wide presentation, but later I got to know that I was going to speak for 10 minutes. So I'm trying to pick and then just get my points across so that we can take something home. So the following are common examples of economic opportunities. Access to finance. Most of the time, most of us complain that we want to trade, we want to do a number of things, but we cannot access finance. But I want to believe that this is because most people are ignorant of where to go and how to go about it. There are a lot of opportunities, even in this country as we speak. We have the Bank of Industry that is helping a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business-minded, oriented people that are ready to come up with, ideas and things that can be beneficial to them and, of course, be beneficial to the country as well. But you have to come up with a unique selling point. You just have to be different. You have to have a fresh idea, something that is not the usual. So this is why, as an individual, you have to be able to think outside the box. We also have Babatunde Akim Lawal, who benefited from USAID. I think he got about $4 million or thereabouts from USAID. The first benefit he got was about 30 million before. So there are a lot of people that benefit a lot of things if you do your research. And of course, as Nigerians, we have access to technology. There are different countries in this world, like China. There are some countries, even Dubai, they don't allow you to use WhatsApp. Some countries restrict their populace from accessing technology to an extent. Nigeria, everybody is free. So you are in a free world, unlimited opportunity to technology. And today, we all know what technology does to us. For people who are entrepreneurs, they can tell you that technology is the best thing that has happened to their lives. Even I, as an individual, I can attest to that. So there is nothing you are doing, whatever it is, just try and ensure that you include technology to your business. Even as little as being a hairdresser or a fashion designer, go on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever medium you want to use, every medium to communicate to people, to communicate to your target audience. Most of the time, even if you want to do advert online, they will ask you the age range, the countries you are trying to target. All these things are available on social media. So we have unlimited opportunities to technology. We have access to it, and we should harness it so that we can develop our business. Whatever you're doing, you just have to upscale it so that you can progress. So the opportunities are still bound in Nigeria, and they will continue to be there. We have the opportunity of citizenship and resident status. We don't have issues about that. Economic freedom, economic stability. Our economy may not be so stable, but we believe that the leadership that we have presently, they have done their best. We are looking up as politicians. I am APC, I'm the House of Rep candidate for this coming election, inshallah, come 2023. And we are looking up to a president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whom we believe that he is going to be a transformational change. He is going to be a barrier breaker, because we believe that Nigeria needs a leader that has the vision, that has the passion, that can give us that action that we need to change this country. And also employment. Most of the time, as young people, whatever employment you get, I told some of the people that I employed when I was in Audit Service Commission, wherever you find yourself, make yourself valuable. Add value. Let people know that you have something extra to offer. And I can tell you, you are going to go places. I still have a lot, but there's no time. Thank you very much.
Let's put our hands together for her one more time. And I think that beyond politics, all our speakers have something that we need outside politics. I never knew, ma'am, that you could draw bars. When I heard you saying the vision, the passion, and the action, I just felt like putting a beat to it and bringing an MI to feature on it. And just release an album for probably next year's election. And when we're writing the script for that, maybe we'll come visit you, ma'am. Let's put our hands together for her one more time. All right, before we call the next panelists, I'd like to recognize a few more people. We have Honorable Abiodun Akigbe. He's the treasurer of Aigbe, treasurer of the All Progressive Congress, Lagos State. Let's appreciate him, please. We also have Honorable Olashupo Olowo Edward. Olowe, okay, I thought it was Olowo, all right. Olowe Edward is the former Lagos Assembly aspirant for Kosofe Constituency 2. And we have Mrs. Binkwe Eshong, is the president of, I think the person that wrote this thing is a doctor. But Mrs. Binkwe Eshong, please let's appreciate you wherever you are, please. Eshong, okay. It's the person who wrote it like a Calabar name, Eshong, like someone who's writing prescription. But let's move on swiftly from there. And but by the way, want to sọ fún wa wípé òyìnbó wa fẹ́ pọ̀ jù ní ibi tá a wà yìí, wípé ó yẹ ká máa rò pọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀. Ẹ mọ̀ wípé Yorùbá, a máa ń sọ Yorùbá ní tòótọ́ àmọ́ Yorùbá wa ò dánmọ́rán. Lagos Talks làwa ti wá, ọ̀rọ̀ òyìnbó la máa ń sọ. Àmọ́ a ní station kan lára Megalectrics family tá à ń pè ní Naija FM. Ìyẹn kò sí nǹkan tá a kì í sọ ńbẹ̀. So ọjọ́ mìíràn tá a bá ń bọ̀, à ń mú àwọn colleague wa wá, tá a bá ti ń sọ òyìnbó, a máa sọ Yorùbá, á dàbí pé kí gbogbo ẹ̀ lè gún régé. But from time to time, we'll mix Yoruba and English to make it easy for us, to interact. However, tó bá ti di àkókò tá a fẹ́ máa béèrè ọ̀rọ̀, a lè sọ èdèkédè tó bá ń wà, a lè sọ Yorùbá, a lè sọ òyìnbó, a lè sọ Faransé, a lè sọ Hausa, kò sí èyí tẹ́ ẹ sọ tá a gbọ́. Èyí tẹ́ bá sọ tá a bá gbọ́, Ọlọ́run gbọ́. Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ máa bá a túmọ̀ ẹ̀ fún gbogbo wa. All right, so let's move on now and invite the next, I was going to say aspirant. The next panelist, he is a member of the House of Assembly. He's an affable person, a brilliant banker, an expert in microfinance, and he is Honorable Femi Sahid. A round of applause for him. Okay.
Good morning, all. I want to greet the KBC of Oluwafagoyi, Oba Ladega. You are highly welcome, sir. The Executive Chairman of Agboyi-Ketu LCDA, Mayor Dele Oshinowo. The Pioneer Chairman of Agboyi-Ketu LCDA, Honorable Yetunde Arubieke, the Present Commissioner for Wealth Creation, Lagos State. I want to greet the State Treasurer of our party, All Progressive Congress, Honorable Biodun Hayigbe. I want to greet the management and staff of Megalectrics, that is 91.3 FM, for putting up this wonderful and all their constituents. Furthermore, I want to extend this to the Lascota, the Markets Association, the youth leaders present here today. The roles of politics in government is the topic that I've been given to just to speak for 10 minutes. And you see, governments, we need to define what is poverty. Poverty is when an individual or an household or a nation cannot meet minimum standard of living. And when a nation or an household or an cannot meet this minimum standard of living, we tend to have the situation that is called poverty. there are different types of poverty. We have abject poverty, we have absolute poverty, we have urban poverty, we have rural poverty. And there is no, by the time you you aggregate all this together, it is still the same poverty. But now, we understand, we believe that there is poverty in Africa. We understand that with the recent corona pandemic, that even nations that are doing so well all over the world have been plugged into poverty due to one thing or another. Nigeria is not going to stand alone. If you look at what happened in UK sometimes back, their prime minister was changed. It was due to the way the recession was going. Even America last week was about to enter into recession. That is to tell you that all is not well all over the world. But we as Nigerians, why are we in the midst of plenty and we are sovereign, according to what the Honorable Commissioner for Wealth Creation has said? Nigeria is a land of opportunity. Nigeria is a land that is bound with so many things. But why are we in this quagmire? That is the topic I'm here to speak today. I'm ready to highlight to you. Let's bring poverty, politics, the role of governments. That is the essence of this engagement, so that we can understand what is my own responsibility, what is your own responsibility, and what are the expectations my constituency are expecting from me, what are the expectations that I'm going to give to my constituency. Let's take it one by one. If you look at the way we've divided poverty, then what is government? Government is a multifaceted process of aggregating the political power, exercising political authority, bringing political administration, bringing political ingenuity in addressing some of these problems that we are facing in Nigeria today. Then if you look at from 1960, during the Gowon regime, Obasanjo regime, there was Green Revolution, there was Operation Free the Nation, there was Better Life, there was NAPEP, there is a Traders Money. So many poverty alleviation programs. But why is it that most of these poverty alleviation programs have not been able to impact positively on Nigeria? It is because, number one, we lack political will. We lack political administration. We lack the understanding. And that is one way Nigeria is changing and is fast changing. We are gathered here to discuss the topic that is affecting us as individuals. It is when the government understand most of the areas that we've highlighted, that even the citizens are now taking up challenges according to what the chairman has just said. I started my political career as a youth with AD, from AD to AC, from AC to ACN, from ACN to All Progressive Conference, up to this level. I have learned a lot during my sojourn as a youth leader that we need brilliant, professional tactician to man the affairs of our country. And that is one fundamental thing that my party has infused in me. Now, going by that again, I went to different schools. I attended different schools, different course, different time. I worked and I rose to the chief operating officer of a mortgage bank and a microfinance bank. I have learned something. I have learned a lot. Those are the things that we should be bringing together as youth that want to effect change, that youth that want to bring Nigeria from the shackles of poverty, that youth that want to render leadership role that is going to be unprecedented in the history of our nation. If you don't have what it takes to rule a country, you dare not go there as a politician. It is only when you have the understanding, the professional capability, the experience, and the integrity and honesty, and veritable experience. This is where I've worked. This is what I've done. This is what I've achieved. This is what I'm capable of doing. That people can believe in you and you can excel the way the chairman has been appraised here today. And I think this should be the focal point of people that are advocating for change, people that are advocating for political leadership. Assess your candidate very well, the way the Honorable Commissioner has said. does he or she has what it takes to take you out from where we are to where we are supposed? I just want to cite a serious example before I go and sit down. When the Honorable Commissioner Agboyi-Ketu took over the mantle of leadership of Agboyi-Ketu LCDA, it was just no secretariat, no roads, nothing. That is to tell you the kind of government that the All Progressive Congress is making. The Asiwaju Bola Ahmed thought in his wisdom that Koshofe local government is too big. It was divided into three. Ikosi, Sheri LCDA, Agboyi-Ketu LCDA. You can see the monumental edifice that the chairman commissioned as secretariat. As if being we are still under Koshofe, all of us will be going from here to Koshofe to go and assess administrative functions. But the same way Mayor Agboyi moved is the same way Ikosi Sheri moved and built another monumental edifice. That is the selling point we are telling Nigerians. That is what Asiwaju want to go and replicate over there. That is why some of us, I'm telling you our blueprints, we want to replicate good work in order for us to eradicate poverty. There will be free access to health care, there will be housing policy, there will be food production. We are now going to move from consumption nation to productive nation. It is when we move from consumption nation to productive nation that our teeming youth can be employed, that our businesses will be thriving, that our bank will be making money, that our GDP will be growing. And we, as a government that knows where the truth pinches the people, our government was the first government in Lagos State to inaugurate the first independent power project, which never saw the light of the day, which means we have already have a good track record of performance that will lead Nigeria out of shackles of poverty and joblessness. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for that, sir. And in order for me to get a bit of promotion and recognition at the office, I need to say this, sir. All three of you, you know, we are a radio station and we are not an NGO, we are a for-profit. This is one of our corporate social responsibilities that we are doing. But the amount of campaign that has gone on this stage, thank God we have a rep of our marketing department here. And at radio stations, we bill per second. We do per second billing. So far, we've spoken about 20 minutes. So we'll send you like an hour, yeah, you see. Those are timekeepers and accurate co-debaters, they're all speaking. Like an hour, so we'll send you the bill. Before you get out, we'll print it, don't worry. We are very digital and send you the bill. But anyway, let's appreciate our panelists. Let's put our hands together for them. All right, now we've had three members of the, politicians or governments. It's time for us to go to the CSOs. Let's hear from the CSOs what they have to say, how they understand what we are doing and what we are able to take out of this. But before I do that, there is a senior colleague whom some of you have asked for when we started the program. That, okay, we've seen Adu, we've seen Ifi, we've seen Michelle, we've seen Oluwakayode. Where is Adeni Kunu? Mr. Adeni Kunu, can you please stand up and take a bow? Let's appreciate him. That's Mr. Adeni Kunu on radio Thursdays and Fridays, getting us, the details and information we need about our great nation, Nigeria. But right about now, let's take a walk down to those who hold the people accountable, hold government accountable, and whose sole priority is to make sure that Nigeria works for everybody. They are hated by many, loved by many at the same time, but they never stop doing their job. Speaking for the CSOs today will be a member of the Lagos State Civil Society Partnership for Development. Yeah, LACSO. I always mix that up. And in the person of Mr. Shino Loremikon. Let's put our hands together for him, please. Can we put our hands together, please? Let's appreciate him. Of course, it's obvious he's not from Agboyi-Ketu, but we can still appreciate him.
Thank you very much, and good day to everyone. As mentioned, my name is Shino Loremikon. I am here very happy, very delighted, and no regrets. However, if my presentation is short of expectation, all blames goes to my mother. She died last year at the age of 109. I call my father lazy man. He did not pay my school fees for one day. He died before I started primary school. I want to say thank you once again. And there is no big deal. I think the previous speakers have spoken well. I should just take a bow and go. But because I left home before 6 a.m. to be at this function, let me justify why I missed my breakfast from my beautiful wife by saying that there is nothing new under the sky. This is our own generation. Sooner or later, we will pass away. I don't see anybody in this hall that will spend additional 55 years. If they are, they will see a lot of things. If they are, they will see a lot of things. And then they will be comparing notes. Hold on. They will be comparing notes. As we are here now, if you are told 40 years ago that we will be using this sort of handsets, you will say it is not possible. And as we are here now, some people are thinking of the future. I have seen it. I have seen an aircraft where it has double-decker bed. The man who invented aeroplane, never thought in his imagination that there can be a double-decker bed in an aircraft. We have said all good things about governance. We have defined poverty excellently. I also want to say there is a missing link in our definition of poverty. Poverty of ideas. Many of my father's generation, they built beautiful houses. Today, none of their children can live in those houses. I live in Bishop Crowder in Surulere. My next door neighbors were former president of South Africa, Thabo Mbeki, the registrar of Yabatek, former commissioner for information, Lagos State, federal accountant general of Nigeria, Alhaji, may God grant his peaceful stay in heaven. When I was growing up in Surulere, waste disposal board, Akole, they come into our streets. We don't pay a kobo. They ring bell to evacuate our waste. When I was living in Surulere. When I was in Ikoyi, where I started my primary school, at Falomo, St. George's Primary School, we had a passage to cross the road. It's an underground tunnel. Today, it has been shut down. I am imagining if you have a parent, an aged parent, living somewhere at Surulere by Barracks bus stop, Fadeyi or Onipan, if they want to go round town with their condition, their state of health, I don't know how they'll climb that bridge. I have seen it in other countries. They have lifts that takes the age or the weak across. This is 2022. By next year, we'll be having election. I traveled a lot. I started this NGO work before I married. That was 1989. I was a foundation member of the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights. Dr. Beko was our pioneer president. I know what Lagos is by my palm. And I'm saying with all due respect, we have a Jakonde who took over power 3 years after Muritala Mohammed was assassinated at Ikoyi, almost opposite federal secretariat. 3 years after Jakonde came on board, Jakonde was not only living in his Ilupeju residence, he was using his Toyota Crown that had no bulletproof. Today, people in public office ride jeeps with bulletproof. Today, some of my friends in government, immediately they are sworn in, they relocate. They don't stay in the neighborhood again after election. In this Lagos, some of my friends who are in government, my business is not to mention name. In the same Lagos, Jakonde was thinking of metro line. Our dynamic, hardworking, transparent, and intelligent integrity president stopped him in 1984. We are back to it now. We are running behind schedule to have our light rain. In Egypt, Cairo, they have a train there as far back as 1989. I'm happy to tell you, women, you are winning. In Cairo, they have the first Obìnrin to be driving the train. I don't know what will happen to us. Today, we pay to dispose waste in Lagos. Some houses have been threatened. We'll close it down. I came here with my bag. I'm not Babalajo. If they can give me my bag, I came with some of the books that I should have used to buy iPhone. This book, in this book, you will find the 1963 Constitution there. The 1979 Constitution is inside. The 1999 Constitution is inside. Timba misbehave nle, ti yawo mi ba ti o pe ma ko we da sita, ma gentle. In this book, we violated all the principles of federalism known worldwide. With all due respect. With all due respect, I'm saying it. We that are federalists, we hijacked the power of local governments and gave it to state government as if local government nìkan ló lè wà kò sílẹ̀ in states. Iṣẹ́ akólẹ̀ tó jẹ́ iṣẹ́ local government àti gbà. Outside billboard, outdoor advertising tó jẹ́ iṣẹ́ local government tó wà nínú constitution yìí, àwa federalist àgbà mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́. Ó jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ o. Ó yẹ kí local government máa ṣe drainage. Owó ò lè ṣe drainage o. A tún ní drain dock. There is a structure in Lagos State that they call drain dock. Àwọn yẹn náà tún jẹ owó council nǹkan tẹ́ kí council máa ṣe. So báwo la ṣe ní book chairman council? Kò lẹ́nu wọn, kò sí nǹkan tó lè ṣe. Gbogbo ibi tí chairman council ti lè rówó, a máa ń pè yẹn tenement rate. My parents pay tenement rate. Nísìnyí land use charge ló ń pè. Owó land use charge yẹn wá ju owó tenement rate lọ. So olè tó wà ní council, a block wọn, olè tó wà ní state. Ẹ wá wo bí ta bàbá yìí. To the extent kọ́ pé I am a friend of the government. A friend of the government. Tábà ní nǹkan ṣe nationally, ó ní iye tí chairman local government máa dá sí national post. Tí ò bá dá, wàhálà máa dé bá. A ní chairman of chairman tó máa coordinate yín ọmọ owó tí ẹ dà. Àti ìkan tó kàn wá, àti tí ó kàn wá, ẹ máa dá owó yẹn. Tẹ́ ẹ bá dá, you are in problem. To worsen it. Even if we have a congress of the party and Alhaji Ogbara won the primaries, between the venue of the congress and Abuja, if we are transmitting the result, anything can change. Wọ́n lè fi mí sí. Tí Alhaji bá gún wàhálà máa dé bá. We are saying no, 2023 kò gbọ́dọ̀ rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Finally, ẹ̀yin obìnrin, ẹ̀jẹ̀ èlò lè fi ṣe ọbẹ̀ lísìn. Kálẹ̀ èèyàn fẹ́ ṣe ọbẹ̀ tó dáa, ṣé 10,000 ká? ó níyàwó àtọmọ mẹ́ta àwa lọ sékìtì tábà dékìtì wọ́n ní dìbò kó sọ̀bẹ̀ wọ́n fún 5,000 tábà dé Ọ̀ṣun wọ́n fún 10,000 dìbò kó sẹ̀bẹ̀ ẹ jọ 2023 ẹ má gbọ́ owó kẹsọ ibẹ̀ o kọ̀ọ̀kan owó ọbẹ̀ o shine your eye. The business of governance is guaranteed in the Constitution of Nigeria. There is a document they call United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. And it over there, you have the right to participate in the government of your country. There is a document they call African Charter on Human and People's Rights. The same thing. Tí ó bá yá, ihun tó wà náà tó ń ka Bible, tẹ́ bá ní kẹ́ bá mi wò, Psalm 9, verse 8, ìjọba máa dé, Ọlọ́run máa pè ìjọba, ó máa pè wá lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan. Báwo ló ṣe lò ó nígbà tó jẹ́ chairman, ìgbà tó jẹ́ electorate, ìgbà tó jẹ́ governor, báwo ló ṣe lò ó, Ọlọ́run máa bí wá. So tó bá wù wá ká ṣe eré, tó bá wù wá ká má ṣe eré, Ọlọ́run á bí wá.
All right. Oh, okay, all right. I know we all enjoyed the presentation of our speakers. All right, can we have one house? Can we have one house, please? Can we have one house? I know we all enjoyed the presentations of our panelists, but he made some statements at the end of his presentation which reminded me of a song. And if you are a Yoruba man, I'm sure you should understand this song. While he was saying it, some people were chanting the song. It's simply Ìjọba ọ̀run kù dẹ̀dẹ̀, aráyé ẹ yí padà, onídàájọ́ ayé ń bọ̀ tí yóò béèrè lọ́wọ́ rẹ, báwo ló ṣe lò ó ìgbésí ayé rẹ. All right, let's put our hands together for them, please. All right, so with that, we're about to start the panel session. We have Mayor Shinowo, Alhaji Ogbara, Honorable Saheed, and Mr. Loremi Kon. And my name is Oluwa Kayode. Let's put our hands together for them, please, as we get started. All right, well, where do we start from? I think the first question here is, based on the presentation you did, Mr. Loremi Kon, I think we will start with you. To look at the challenges you raised, the limitation of the local government, the confusing state of our politics, the abuse of the Constitution, and how are we going to resolve this? But before you answer that, I'd like to remind everybody that we're here this afternoon, or this morning, still some minutes before 12, I believe. And one of the major things we're doing is to look for solutions. We're not here to antagonize. We're not here to settle scores. See, I greeted chairman that day. He didn't answer me. Maybe he didn't hear. You want to come here and talk at him. I've been looking for a way to see Honorable Saheed. If he's to see everybody in the constituency, he will not even be able to attend plenary. I've been looking for Alhaji Ogbara. She has to be at the office. This is not a place for you to come out and just speak at them. We're here to speak to issues. And as a station which is responsible and cares about the development of the nation, we would like to say that any word or the words that are said here today are not backed by the station, and they do not represent the opinion of the station. What we are here to do is to present the platform. So we're issuing that disclaimer before we get started. And having issued that disclaimer, once again remind us that what we are doing here, let's make it as civil as possible. No harsh words, no insult to be tolerated, just communicate and let's elicit as much results as we can get. So once again, welcome to Lagos Talks Town Hall Meetings, Agboyi-Ketu edition. Let's put our hands together for ourselves for that. So, Mr. Loremi Kon, we will throw this quick question to you. We have some of the people that had to leave, go to work, to show you how particular people are. We've had civil servants who had to leave, another person who have given us the questions they wanted to ask. They will go online to watch it. And having said that, if you're here watching right here in the hall, we're transmitting live on Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. You could call your family and friends to tune in and hear the conversation that will be transforming Nigeria, one local government at a time. That is more important. And secondly, if you're here and you have family outside there, or you're listening to us on Lagos Talks 91.3 FM, know that you can follow us on our social media platforms, on Facebook and on YouTube. We're broadcasting live. Just look for us, Lagos Talks 913, and you can join the conversation. Mr. Loremikon, let's get started with you. How do we correct, or where do we even start the management from? Looking at all the challenges that you've listed, which the local government or LCDA is confronted with.
Thank you very much. I think we just need to face the reality that every generation we have issues of significance they have to resolve.
Okay.
Many years ago, the major issue facing mankind was slavery. And many people thought slavery could not come to an end because some persons were benefiting from slavery. With consistency, it came to an end. In Nigeria, some 25, 30 years ago, we had military rule. I have the opportunity of meeting late Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe when military rule was going on. Okay. Like I mentioned, I was a foundation member of the Committee for Defense of Human Rights. We met him and we were talking about the state of the nation, what is to be done. This same question, the moderator is asking me, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe asked us. And we then said, the solution is for us to be on the street. All men, all women should be on the street to challenge the government of the day. He then said, only a madman can argue with somebody with the gun. Whether we are mad or otherwise, I don't know, but I know Chief Gani Fawemi, Dr. Beko Razonkuti, Olisa Agbakoba, Clementine Wanko, and many others. They were on the streets. If you have forgotten, we had the campaign against democracy. They will tell you when to sit at home, and we were sitting at home. The military went. In summary, let us be consistent with what we are doing. I was happy when I was here. The memory that was reoccurring to me was Punch newspaper that sponsored a thing like this during the political bureau debate. Punch newspaper. As we are here, I'm seeing Chief M.K. Abiola, late M.K. Abiola, with the defunct Concord, sponsor a program like this at the NIA to discuss about the state of the nation. I think these are things we need, more and more of it, so that we can have networking, we can understand ourselves, so that people deliberately will not divide us. I don't see why we should have an election. Somebody will steal ballot box. Why we'll burn houses. Why we should kill ourselves because of election. Let's do the election. Whoever wins, let him run office and let's engage the person like we are engaging the honorables here. I feel so happy, and I think the solution is for us to be consistent. We should never give in. Okay. We should continue to engage ourselves to discuss our problems. And I think continuous debate will give us a way out.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for that. And let's go to Honorable Femi Sahid. And when we look at some of the comments, we're starting with him, and we won't spend too much time on this because we like to open it up. So our conversation here will be around 15 minutes. Then we open it up to the platform We already have some questions here for you, but I would also like to encourage those who are watching on Facebook and on YouTube, do send your questions that you have, because we know that the members here and the honorables here, they are not leading a jobless people. So some of you are at work, some who are able to come here are here. So if you're at work and you're watching, do send in your questions. It will be communicated accordingly. So back to you, Honorable Femi Sahid. What are the challenges you feel probably in your capacity as the House of Assembly member? What are some of the challenges that you are confronted with, or you feel confronts leadership, and how can we resolve it?
Thank you, Kayode. If you I've been elected for almost 19 months now. I've been representing my people for 19 months. But the thing is that attitudinal changes. We need more engagement like this to really enlighten our people on the role of a lawmaker. I'm a lawmaker. I'm not the one who is going there to do the road. I'm not the one who is going to provide the hospitals. I'm not the one who is going to provide benches and desks for schools. But my constituency has voluntarily sent me, voted for me, to go and advocate, to go and bring in how to get a better healthcare facility. When there is time for lobbying, because that is within the jurisdiction of my capacity, use my lobbying capacity as a lawmaker representing the good people to say, these and these projects are the projects that the people are yearning for. And also, in times of just placement, engagement, awareness, and education, I need to come back home and educate my people. For you to move from point A to point B to point C, these and these are what we are supposed to do. I don't have executive votes to be tying road, to be throwing money. I receive salary, and this salary is only meant to keep me living, so that when they see me as their honorable, they will know this is our honorable. And for me to be able to sit down, think, articulate on how to formulate good bills that will make my society a better society. Right. I think that is the only misconception that we have in Africa, that we have in Nigeria as politicians. People misconstrue the position of a lawmaker to that of executive.
All right, thank you so much for that. Now, I'd like to bring two things to our notice. First of all, the conversation is going on here, and there's a parallel conversation elsewhere. How can we get the best of what we are doing here today if we are not focusing or concentrating on what we are doing? So, we'd like to encourage everybody, let's reduce our voice so that the conversation here, every single soul in this studio can hear us. That's the first thing. Secondly, when it comes to politics, and maybe Alhaji Kafila Dobara can help us on this. When it comes to politics, we hear a lot of talk about youth participation. But looking at the whole right here today, I'm just thinking at the top of my head, how much of the people here, or what is the percentage of youth in this hall today? What is the percentage of youth in this hall today? If we were to do a random check now and say anybody between the ages of, okay, let's say the standard, which is 35, downwards, rise up, how many of us will rise up? But how can we get the youth to benefit from the dividends of politics, of democracy, tap into the opportunities in government? Because to an average youth, there is no opportunity at all. Governments are just there to take salary, and that's why they are they and us. Is there any opportunity for the youth that they can tap in, and how? All right.
I hope, okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Kayode. Like I said earlier, it's very important for the young people to know that their time is now. There's no any in future. So once you are determined and you make up your mind, explore, to be well informed. You have to go all out to get all the necessary information that you can need. And you have to be committed. You have to be hardworking. Nothing comes a la carte. Government cannot do everything for us, and they cannot even do anything for you. Look at it like that and see how you can tap into the system and see how you can help yourself. The government is trying in different places, in different states, and of course at the federal level as well. Even though we believe that Nigeria should be better than what it is today. But as young people, this is our time and we have to explore. We see what happens all over the world. You can think inward and see how you can contribute to your immediate society. I started as a young person in my university days in Unilag. And I was, throughout my university days, when I was in my departmental level, I was the departmental treasurer. When I was at the faculty level, I was the faculty treasurer. University of Lagos also, I was the also treasurer. So you have to be determined to be a leader at every level. All of us cannot lead, but there are different ways you can lead in your immediate environment, no matter what it is you are doing. Whether you are a farmer, whether you are trading, you are a organizer, whatever it is you are doing, just put in your best. Do it very well. There will be people that will see what you are doing. People see what people do. You think people are not seeing? There's nothing you are doing that people don't see. Even in our various establishments, in the local government, as members of staff or appointees, your local government chairman knows who is doing what. So what we are saying is that wherever you find yourself, upscale yourself, develop yourself, try to learn more. And there are so many things we can do on our own. When I was discussing the other time about opportunity of accessing fund, even Lagos State government has Lagos State Trust Fund. This is our honorable commissioner here. She's in charge of wealth creation. Ask questions. Walk up to your leaders. If you cannot access them, there are different mediums that you can access them. Social media has made things to be very easy now, like I said, technology. Even if you go on your WhatsApp, just do a video. Talk. Say what you want to say. It will get to that person. Trust me. But say what is positive. What you think will be beneficial. A contribution, an advice, or a need that you think should be treated. There are a lot of things on social media now that, as government officials, before I came into government, I said, even if I can get a role of identifying only potholes for government, let them just give me an appointment. Because I had that headache. That what is the problem? You will get to some places and then you wonder if there's even government presence there at all. Where is the local government? So these are things that even moved me as an individual to participate in politics, even though I started politics from my university days. But as young people, you have to be provoked. I expect our young Nigerians to be provoked. Most of them don't have voters card, except now that the campaign and everything was very, very aggressive. And it's very aggressive because some of us in Lagos State, we believe that the presidential candidate is coming from our state and we cannot afford it. So this is why we have been very, very aggressive about that, because if you don't have the voters card, you cannot vote. And it's not enough for people to have the voters card. You have to come out. No matter how long that queue is that day. This is one of the problems with our young people again. They are never patient enough. Very long queue. It's too long. Or because they are on their phone permanently. So you have to, even the votes, you have to be vigilant and see what happens there and ensure that everything goes peacefully. Take responsibility. See this thing, as your project. Don't say you are voting for somebody. You are voting for yourself. Because whoever you put there is the person that will bring the return. For instance, I am going to the House of Rep, and I've told those who care to listen that I know that Abuja is the pool, federal pool, for Nigeria. So it is the kind of representation you send that will determine the kind of dividends of democracy you get. So so if you take anything shaprapra, they go there just to collect their salaries. But you have to, wherever you find yourself, as a House of Assembly member, as a council chairman, even as a council chairman, you can influence the governor to do a lot of roads in your local government better than what happens in other local governments. It depends on the personality. It depends on the individual.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much. And it's obvious that we didn't just bring people that are shaprapra. We also brought people that are shapro-pro. So they are all here representing, making this town hall a success. Now, you made a comment about being vigilant and taking responsibility. And you also made a comment about going there to jagba for the people. Now, that might sound like a slang, but I've said on my program on Saturdays, that's the conversation, 9 a.m. every Saturday, I said there some time ago that the National Assembly is to discuss issues that concern Nigeria. But the representative is to discuss issues that concern his or her constituency. You're going there to fight for your constituency. It is when we come together that we are discussing Nigeria. So which means that if you send anybody from any constituency and you see some constituencies are getting more allocations, more funds are being spent there, rather than as Nigerians, we get angry that these people are being favored. Ask your representative, how come those people are getting these things and we are not getting them? And I think what you just said now is very important. It's part of the education that we need to inform people to know the need of the people that represent you and their responsibilities. That's very key. Now, let's come to you, Mayor. She made a comment about the immediate environment, being a leader in your immediate environment. And that reminded me of when we were younger. We had the president, we had the governors, we had the local council, or local governments back then. We had all these cadres of leadership. But within the community, we had people that were not paid by government, were not paid by everybody, but were always on the lookout for who is doing right, who is doing wrong. That seems to be missing in current day politics, because that's also a political post, although you are not elected. How did we get here, and how can we get out of it? And does that affect leadership at the local council in any way? All right.
Hello? All right. Kayode, thank you for that question. At Agboyi-Ketu, as I said, when we came on board, we said we must communicate with our people. We must reach out to our people. And we have a lot of people around who, criticize us, who critiques us, who tell us what we're doing that is good and that is not right. And this is what we've been doing since we came on board. And being able to ask us questions, that's actually influenced our decision making. And this has actually, shown in our delivery of dividends of democracy. Now, like I said earlier, we organize town hall meetings, every quarterly. Our councillors goes around, they meet people. And there's a lot of people who ask questions and all that. Let me quickly say, when we were there, somebody sent a message to me, said, why town hall meeting? When you can fix road, where you can do this, where you can do that. And I said, if you are fixing road, you tell me I'm not fixing your street. If I fix your street, another person will tell me I'm not doing this. So we're organizing a town hall meeting whereby you come here, ask us questions, challenge us, discuss with us. But you're telling us why we're doing town hall meeting. And I said, listen, I'm challenging you. Let's go out there. Let me take you out and see what we're doing. And part of what we're doing, you see, we are faced with a lot of challenges in terms of funding. And we said, okay, let's think outside the box. My predecessor, the first executive chairman of Agboyi-Ketu, Agboyi-Ketu as a whole then was crime infested. Akanimodo is one of the toughest locations in Lagos State. As a woman, she took it upon herself to dislodge the place, change the narratives, convert it to an housing project. When I came on board, I took over it, look for a partner with financial institution on a public-private partnership. If you go there now, you will not recognize the place. You see, this is part of what we are doing. I am telling you, in Lagos State, I don't want to say Nigeria, but I can say it as well. We are the first LCD or local government that will be doing such project. Our plan is to have over 1,200 units of flats, duplex, or detached. But now we're currently at 238. And we will be commissioning it by this year.
All right.
And I can categorically say to you that will fetch will bring a return to the local government. So far, we've generated over 200 million from that project. And I can tell you, that money has been invested back in the community, in projects, in empowerment programs, in our health sector, in our educational sector. And why we're doing this is because we're getting a good feedback. We're getting feedback from people. I am ready. Criticize me, I'll tell you. I'll defend myself.
Okay.
This is the reason why we're doing it. And this is the reason why we cannot achieve what you're saying for now. But our plan is to make sure that we satisfy our people. They are very, very important to us.
Okay,
I will make sure that we do that.
All right, great.
Thank you.
And I like the way you said, criticize me, I'm very, very open. When you said that, my ear caught somebody say, again. So, ready for all the criticism and questions.
Trust me.
All right. But, okay, now moving on, we'll get to the next stage of the panel discussion now, where we open it up to people to ask questions. But I am looking beyond what you're doing, the housing. Probably you address that later, though. It's good to know who has access to it. How is it been? How much is it going for? Is it affordable? What is the process of getting into it? Because it's one thing to put up a project. It's another thing for people to be able to access it or even know how to access it. So you talk about later on, probably during the course of the presentation. However, let's come to Mr. Loremikom. Now, you spoke about what you did in the 80s during military rule, where you could be killed and nobody in the world can stop it. The most they will get is a sanction. But we realize that nowadays, in a democracy where you do things and so many other things could happen, people even have some rights to an extent. You hear people say, you can't do this now because government will not allow it. Is it that the democratic government is now worse than military government, or we have less active citizens, leaders who are able to confront the democratic government? Because there have been accusations of people like you, not you particularly, but people in the CSO who have said, I want to babetele, they've been done. But what really is going on?
Thank you once again. I think life is dynamic. The way Mayor explained the dilemma he faces, that even if there is money, if all the jack of his local government is devoted to road rehabilitation, people will still say, one of my colleagues is here. I can't remember when last I have gone to Makoko, but he brought an issue of extrajudicial killings. We did not start by asking, Hello Lamari. We did not ask by saying, family. We went into it that an injustice on one is an injustice on all. We confronted the state government. In fact, we were abusive. When we got to governor's office that day, the governor was nowhere to be found. We then sang for him. Mr. Governor, he's not my enemy. The governor of Lagos State then was not my enemy. He's somebody my friends and friends know very well. But we are talking of governance. Somebody was killed. We have to take it up. And we took it up. Part of what we are doing, even if I don't do it, the whole world searchlight is on us. We have one court they call ECOWAS court. If they say ECOWAS court, you think it's far away. It's in Abuja. The charter Nigeria signed during Shagari regime, African charter. Some people review it and superpose it with what is happening. If the gap is too wide, they will call Nigerian government to order that you are not doing the things you are supposed to do as a nation and as a member of ECOWAS, African Union. We also have one they call Transparency International. Even if I don't do it, they are taking records. And every year they keep on saying corruption is getting worse in Nigeria. Whether it is true or false, we all know it. If you go to General Hospital, they will tell you, Babomo, congratulations. That is corruption. So if you like, speak about it. Even MK Wabiola was saying, if they are going to privatize Nitel, they will be more cautious so that they don't compromise national defense and safety. But we have sold Nitel. Every one of us here is our phone. Either you are subscribing to MTN, Airtel, don't
or
let me
any
mention
other,
it. However, the reality of it is this. After we have sold our telecommunication, we have compromised our national safety. That's why Boko Haram is having headway. If you report Boko Haram to the security, as you are reporting, they know. Whatever the security is planning, they know. Because at the end of the day, the email of the IG is on one of the subscribers of the people we sold our telecommunication system to. So the way the IG email is going to the area commander, Boko Haram is also receiving. Even if you go to the bank and you withdraw money, you want to go and pay ransom, the Boko Haram people know. Because the email of the bank is dropping at their head.
But what you are saying now, the question I will ask as a media practitioner is, we are not the only country that has privatized its radio, its
Yes.
national carrier.
Yes.
The as a national
Yes.
carrier, the telecom.
Yes.
But how are they able to manage it? So it means there's something going on. But before you answer that, what I really wanted you to look at is what is going on now that we are less able to demand what we want from government as compared to the 80s when during military rule we were able to confront government and still get some results. What is happening now?
No, what I'm saying is this. In your own opinion,
Yes.
we have gone on leave. In your own opinion. And I'm saying that is not correct.
Okay.
The civil society has not gone on
No,
leave.
no, but okay. No, what? No.
And-
Let me put the question this way. That is not what I'm saying. That is what people say, that now the government is not able, you are not able to speak to government. So you are saying that is not the reality.
That's not reality. Just 3 or 4 days ago, one of my colleagues just came back to Lagos. On Friday, police besieged his house somewhere at Alakbere here. On Saturday, they took him away. For the first time in recent time, they gave him air tickets. They dragged him into the aircraft and took him by air to Abuja. When he got to Abuja, with noise, that jobless, one of my friends, I call him jobless, is a senior advocate of Nigeria. He was the one who went to the police and said, what is this again? They said, no, hold on. Finally, they granted him police bail on Saturday, unprecedented. On Monday, the petitioner was nowhere to be found. He wants to come back to police. Police said it doesn't concern him. He was stranded. Many of us in this hall, tí a bá bèrè lọ́wọ́ wa, tá bá ṣe quiz pé kí lorúkọ máa nìyẹn, a máa láàmú. Even ìyàwó tèmi máa ń bú mi lé, á ní mi ò mọ̀jú kókó ròyìn lọ. Tí n bá ti jí láàárọ̀ kókó núwèé ròyìn, á ní ṣé ó fẹ́ fẹ̀jẹ̀ lówó ni? O tún gbọ́ kókó núwèé ròyìn. And I'm also saying that, unfortunately, our public officers are not patriotic. Very unfortunate. One lọ Dubai, one rí bọ́n ṣe ń ṣe, wọ́n lọ ọmọ Heathrow airport, wọ́n mọ bọ́n ṣe ń ṣe, wọ́n mọ Kennedy airport, wọ́n mọ bọ́n ṣe ń ṣe, but tọ́ bá débí substandard ni. Àdẹ̀lẹ̀kúrọ́, òun ni mayor sọ yìí. Nínú gbogbo ìṣòro àti ìdààmú tọ́lọ́ ń gbé kò wáyé, Èkó yìí náà ló ń ṣàìn. Èkó yìí náà lẹ ti lè rí BRT. Èkó yìí náà lẹ ti lè bú gọ́vnọ̀. Tẹ́ bá dánwò ní ibi tí ọ̀rẹ́ mi wà, wọ́n ti mọ́lé ni. Èkó yìí náà lẹ ti, ńgbà tí mò ń bọ̀, mo tún wo báyìí, BRT. Wọ́n náà wọ́n ní bedroom. Wọ́n sọ time téèyàn lè wá wẹ̀ ń bẹ̀. Kì í ṣọ̀fẹ́ o. Bẹ̀tẹ̀ Èkó yìí náà lẹ ti lè rí. So Èkó yìí nìkan náà lẹ ti lè ní Ọlọ́run fún wa ní oore ọ̀fẹ́. Ní inú civil society, a ní WhatsApp kan ta fi máa monitor ọlọ́pàá tó bá gba bribe. Mi ò tí rí ọ̀sẹ̀ kan tó máa kọjá tá à ní rí nǹkan kan against the police. A máa bú wọn, a máa sọ̀rọ̀ sí wọn. À ń rówó àwọn èèyàn gbà ó. But ohun tá a fẹ́ rí, òun la fẹ́ rí.
All right. Okay, and I think that answers a lot. Let's put our hands together for the panelists. All right, I'd like us to do one thing. Some of us came here around 6 a.m. today, some earlier. While he was leaving home, some of us were already here. So when he was saying he left home at 6 a.m., I'm like, we were already here at 6 a.m. But some of us also came later on around 8, some 9. But it's past 12 right now. And a lot of us have been sitting since we came in. So I'd like us all to stand up for a minute, excluding the panelists. They've been standing. Okay, you want to join us? Stand up. Okay. Since some of our elders are already doing that, let's sing a nursery rhyme. Let's sing a nursery rhyme. Just something like, my head, my shoulder, my knees, my toes, my head, my shoulder, my knees, my toes, my head. So look at the person to your left and just say hi, share your name, interact, and look to your right, have a conversation. All right? Okay. Great. I just had to make you talk a bit because I've been talking for the past 2 hours, so I won't be the only one talking. Let's have a seat, please. All right, so it's time for us to go to the next part of the panel discussion. And this time around, we want to ask questions. Now, all 4 of them have done presentations. Can we have one house, please? Let's come together. Let's come together, please. We need to finish this soon. Food is ready. The food was being served, but we had to stop it. Hello, can we have one house, everybody, please? Let's have some silence in the hall. Thank you. The food is ready. We just have to stop that so that we all can concentrate on what is happening here. So when we're done, we all will go for lunch afterwards. So we'll open up, we'll pass, there'll be a microphone going around. If you have any question, you can raise your hand. You get a number, and when it's your turn, you speak. But before we come to the floor, some people that I had to leave have this question for the mayor. And
Mayor.
I think he foresaw the question. Okay, somebody else asked you something similar, which you've answered in part. So it's question number 1. Honorable Oshinowo, why has the Agboyi-Ketu LCDA refused to construct drainage at Otumba Aregbesola Street so that the flood can be channeled into the canal, which is less than 900 meters from it? That's 1. Question number 2. Honorable Oshinowo, what has the LCDA done to harness the blue economy, that's the aquatic resources, for poverty alleviation, encourage exports, and key into federal government's one state, one product infrastructure or initiative? Question number 3. Can Honorable Oshinowo explain why the Proceed Alakwere ultra-modern market construction, maybe the proposed Alakwere ultra-modern market construction stalled for 7 years?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much, Kayode.
Can we have some quiet, please?
And
Let's listen.
I appreciate what the question that was asked. Let me start from the market, the Akiemi, the Fortune Garden Akiemi market. We're about to start when we have issues with the Nigerian police force. We have the boundary issues. Before, they thought they were the owner of the land. The state government actually gave us the land out of Fortune Gardens, and we've been on it since then. But luckily for us, we were able to push it to almost to the end now. If you look at it, there's a board there, there's a project board and everything. And this was stalled by the police. They actually put up a caveat at that center, and they put up a police van. And you know, it's very difficult for me to start going there and start fighting the police. So the best thing is for me to go through the normal process, through the state governor, through the commissioner of police to the IG. And now, we've established the boundaries now. We've established the beacon for our own side of it. So they want us, they said they promised us as of 2 weeks ago that they will write to us. And you know the bureaucratic process. It has to come from the IG to the commissioner of police. They must get a signal and all those things. So that's that's the challenge we are facing there. And we've, addressed the market, the traders. We've told them about it. They know, but we have to wait for them. It's not about courts going to court or not. It's just about us settling what is on ground. So that's on that. Then the drainages. Yes. As I said, if I have the money, I will do all roads in Agboyi-Ketu. If I have the money, I'll do all the drainages. I don't blame him because he's living there. So he wants his drainage to be constructed. I have done some, not every. I have to prioritize. Which one is more important? Access road. Which one is economically viable and all that. So for me, for us to avoid flooding in my community, I started in June. The project that is not under my jurisdiction, I dabble into it, which is clearing of all the canals throughout my LCDA. We spent over 100 million doing this. And I can tell you, since I came on board, this is the first season, rainy season, that Agboyi-Ketu, it has been reduced by 80% in Agboyi-Ketu. Go out there, I've received over 50 letters.
That's from flooding, you mean?
Flooding, I mean. So we've tried to reduce it. Constructing drainages is not, if I have 60 million, 70 million, I won't be able to do more than 3 or 4. You understand? Doing a proper one. But we have to look for the alternative way, which is, for me, the first thing is to clear all the canals. Because I know I won't be able to construct all the drainages in Agboyi-Ketu. So when I clear the canals, and there's a free flow of water into the Agboyi Creek and all that. So it will reduce flooding in our community. And people can testify to that. I have over 50 letters from CDA, the Landlord Association, appreciating us in Agboyi-Ketu for what we have done. Even the Lagos State government actually sent a letter to us to appreciate us. They sent their team to Agboyi-Ketu.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
And the third one, taking advantage of the
aquatic, yes.
Yeah, the aquatic, yeah.
Thank you very much. We're surrounded by water, and most of the water around us are salty water. So it's very difficult for us to, start doing fishing or invest in it. Even we try snail products, our land is salty, so they can't last on it. So the best thing what we have done is to write a letter to the Ministry of Agri to give us, farming land in Ekpe, towards Ogun State and Ijebu-Ode, and we're working on it so that we can help them. So, but what we have done so far, for the last 1 year, we have actually supported the farmers, giving them tools. But most of them will go out there, farm somewhere else and bring it down there. What we've been supporting them, they have their association, and if one of them is here, they will be able to testify to it, support the poultry, the poultry business owners, we give them feed, a day layer, we give them beds. So this is what we have done so far in terms of.
So in terms of the blue economy, for clarity, the current state of the water, does not makes it virtually impossible to do much with a blue economy. Yeah. All right, and
we have KBC here from Agboyi. They can testify to this.
All right.
So it's not a major business here.
All right. So Joachim Chooks, if you're listening, probably you have an advice on what we could do with salty water.
Yeah.
Feel free to put it across. If you can't reach the mayor, come to Lagos Talks.
Seriously, if you have any advice on way forward for us, please come to Agboyi-Ketu or send a private, DM me on my social media and either Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I'm 24 hours available on it.
Great.
Thank you.
All right. So with that, we'll open up the floor Do we have questions from any of the? Okay, we have one hand there. We have one, two.
One up there.
Okay, you want to speak, ma'am? All right. Well, so 1, 2. Then we come to Honorable.
Up.
Yeah, upstairs. Okay, we'll take it in bits. We'll take it in stages. So can we have the mic pass to? No, not him. The first person is the elderly man in the cap. Then you come to the man in green. Yes. Your name, please, where you're coming from,
Okay.
and your question. Very brief.
My name is Olaiwola Hassan.
Okay.
From Banwo CDA, Agboyi-Ketu LCDA. Now, my first question, straight to the Honorable Member, House of our Assembly, Femi Said, Honorable Femi Said. What do you do with the constituency fund? Because you claim not to be in charge of the construction of roads, and I just want you to tell us what you have been doing with the constituency fund you received. That is that. Number two.
All right, if we can do this, before you go on, sir, if we can do this, let the questions go, and let's avoid clap so we can save time. If you want to clap, we can give you 10 minutes to clap. It will even help the panelists from answering questions. But if you really want feedback, let's reduce the clap. Later on, we can give a resounding clap. Your second and third question as well.
Mr.
Lori Miko.
Please, I want you to enlighten us. Tell us straight the solution, because you lay claims to when you talk to Nnamdi Azikiwe,
Yes.
others. Do you still expect us, the way politics is played those days? In 1963, you still expect us to play the politics the same way in 2023? You want us to still file out and begin to protest everything we file out in the name of protest that we want government to do this, since we now have a civilized democracy?
Okay, sir.
Now, do you want us to still go? Number 3.
Oh, okay. Let's keep it at 3, sir. This is the last question. Yes.
Mayor, please, how will you be addressing our issue at Banwo community concerning Adenola, Akitola, Azakitoye, and Ogunsheinde is now begging, not even calling, is now begging for rehabilitation. Please.
All right,
do
sir.
something for us.
Thank you very much. And please, let's take note. Because he was the first person to ask the question, that's why we allow that. But the questions will be one per person. There are a lot of people. So please come to Mama in front. Yeah, it will come to you, sir. She will come to you. Come to the Honorable. Yeah, then you go to... no. You'll go to the gentleman at the edge. Then we'll come to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, ma'am.
The name, is it Shoremikon or
Loremikon?
Loremikon.
Yeah, Shino Loremikon.
Oh, you're almost.
No, you didn't say Emilocom. I said Loremikon.
No, it's almost aligning.
Okay, all right.
It sounds the same, isn't it? Yoruba Lokon. I have this serious concern as a politician. And I think it's the civil society that should have echoed it, especially in a political dispensation. Why are we still being governed with a constitution that was made by the military, 1979, and with a lot of inadequacies? Definitely, we all know that in a military dispensation, the power is like a unitary government with power residing up at the federal level. And that is why we are talking about how resources of Nigeria is still being distributed. 52% to the federal. All these are not democratic, and a lot of issues that should have been on the concurrent list is still in the exclusive list. These things are dragging us back. The civil society should play prominent role in advocating seriously for a change. The constitution of a nation determines what happens in that nation. And we have a wrong one right now.
All right.
And the civil society is not talking about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Get the third. No, okay.
Sorry, I'm using my clouds. This question is actually for Elijah Ogwara.
Yeah.
Does your party have a zone, a percentage of positions to women? For inclusivity. I know it's done in the office. We have it in offices and in a lot of places. But do they have it in politics? Thank you.
All right, so they couldn't hear you, sir. Can you take that again?
Do they zone a certain number of positions to females for inclusivity so that women are represented in the... I just wanted to ask. I don't know. I'm not a politician. Thank you.
All right, ma'am. Let's take the gentleman there. Then we end it for this session. They all answer, and we come back. Yeah, the one standing. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, good afternoon, the moderators.
Yes, sir.
My name's Evangelist Akintola. My questions goes to Honorable Said. You see, they talk about what the community needs.
One question, sir. One question.
No, it's just on the same line question.
All right, so one, yeah.
So, how can a politics have an influence to change by lighting their people on the role of a model, but himself, as the Honorable Said, how many times have he goes to the grassroots to meet your people, to educate them, to influence them, to know the step to take? And what way forward are we expecting for 2023? I'm speaking on behalf of the Araba CDA community.
All right, so let's come to the panelists for the questions to be answered. Do we start with you, or let's start with Honorable Loremiko, since you answered some questions? We'll come up. It steps at different layers. Yeah, let's go with you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I want to say first and foremost that I'm not saying we should leave this hall this afternoon and go and storm and demand for good governance. What I'm saying is that we need to understand the problems in our hand, how to address it. When the NSAS protest broke out, I was indifferent. But when the killings was really going on, I showed face. I called myself retired activist. I went back to service. Throughout the panel sitting, I was there. I don't live in Lekki. I live downtown Ikorodu. As I'm speaking, somebody who went with me is hearing me. If you see the places we were hitting, we denied ourselves to be in that panel, and we thought the panel is rounding up in 3 months. 3 months ended up going beyond 9 months. We were taking photographs, we were recording. Let me leave all that. I also want to say that to me, there is no difference between Nigeria and United Kingdom. There is no difference between Nigeria and United States of America. I can say it categorically. The number of people that are homeless in New York, Ojutekolo. Tombanton, Tabana, Alaja sọ pé ó já prapra. Tabala fẹ́ japa, a fẹ́ japa. Wàhálà ni o. Ẹni tẹ́ bá mọ̀ tó bá wà abroad. Tẹ́ bá ń pè, tẹ́ jọ ń sọ̀rọ̀ Boko Haram, wọ́n gbéyàn, omi ò yọ, generator ò ṣiṣẹ́, a máa gbé kọ́ọ̀lù yín. Ọjọ́ tẹ́ bá ti sọ pé ṣé o lè bá mi wá iye báyìí, kò ní gbé kọ́ọ̀lù yín mọ́. Ihun tó pa yín papọ̀, ó máa yà yín. Adena afẹ́ yapa. Ọ̀rẹ́ tèmi ni Minister for Internal Affairs, Rauf Aregbe, ọ̀rẹ́ tèmi ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ gba international passport, bá ọmọ Aregbe, ní ṣe fún yín ní official rate. wọn ò ní ṣe fún official rate. Wọ́n fẹ́ gbà wá. VIO lè mú mọ́tò tèmi o. Bọ́ mú mọ́tò mi máa lọ. Tí n bá rí one way, tèmi bá gba one way. Last man ò lè mú èmi o. Bẹ̀t ṣẹ́rẹ́ ni tán bá mú. Owó tán bá ní kó wá san. A wò wọ́n pé kí ló dé ṣe fẹ́ pa mí ni. Mo rí ẹni tó ti fi mọ́tò ẹlẹ́ pẹ̀lú last man. Ìkọ̀ pé owó yìí ti pọ̀ jẹ́ kúkú máa gbé mọ́tò náà lọ. General ní Èkó yìí very painful. Mo mọ former governor kan, Navy former governor. Nǹkan tó ń pè sí ọ̀fọ̀, ó dẹ̀ allocate fún ara rẹ̀. Ọ̀nà ọmọ akọ school síbẹ̀ ní somewhere very close to my 2. Nǹkan tó náà máa kọ́ school sí lẹ́ni estate ni bí irú estate tí mayor ńkọ́. Àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi ń gbé inú estate yẹn di àárọ̀ yìí. Privilege tọ́lọ́run fún ẹ as governor to assign sí ọ̀fọ̀ ó lò for your own personal benefit. Jákàndé ò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Ajáṣin ò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Ọ̀nàbànjọ ò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ o. So mo wá ń bèrè pé kí ló dé táwọn tó wà ń bẹ̀ sí iná tán lè ṣe bí Jákàndé. Because tó bá yá bá a ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan a máa kú. Àwọn èèyàn kan máa review nǹkan tá a ṣe bóyá a ṣe dáadáa àbá a ṣe dáadáa.
All right.
Ẹ jẹ́ ń tẹnumọ́ yìí, please let me say this.
In like 2 minutes, because we have a lot of questions.
2 minutes. This constitution, there is conspiracy. They have planned it long ago. Like you said, man, very correct. I don't know the business of the federal government in Agric. Every state ló ní ilẹ̀. Ilẹ̀ wo ní Nigeria? Ilẹ̀ wo ní federal government ní? Nigeria ló ní. Each state ló wà ń bẹ̀. Kí ni federal minister of Agric wá ń ṣe? Wọ́n tún ń gbá wa. Alájà ní ká já parapara. Ministry of Water Resources. Water wo? Federal government water wo ló ní? River Niger àbí River Benue?
Atlantic Ocean.
Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń gbá wa.
All right, sir.
So they forced us into an association that is not paying everybody. As it is today, I always pray. In fact, mo tún gbàdúrà pé ìwọ Ọlọ́run jọ̀ọ́ o, àtèmi, àti ìyàwó mi, àtàwọn ọmọ mi, àwọn ajínigbé, má jẹ́ kó ronú kan wa o. Ṣẹ̀rẹ́ ni tán bá gbé, wọ́n ń gba 5 million mọ́ o. And SSS cannot help you. In fact, SSS will be telling you, go and quickly pay. Ibo la wa ń lọ. Ìlú tó jẹ́ pé nígbà kan rí, mo ní mo fẹ́ hẹ̀ndẹ̀ nígbà tí màmá tèmi dé sẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yìí tó fẹ́ gba ilé owó oṣù kan ló san. Tá ẹ bá fẹ́ gba lélẹ̀ ní landlord tó bá béèrè owó ọdún kan lọ́wọ́ yín àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ yẹn á máa san pé ṣé kìí ṣe kó fẹ́ gbà ẹ́ ọdún méjì ni o. Nobody pay like that in London. Nobody pay house rent 9 months in London.
Mr. Loremekon, thank you so much, sir. Let's put our hands together for him. His passion for Nigeria is choking. If you allow him, he can answer the questions for everybody here. So let's go to Honorable Femi Saheed. Can we have one house, please? One house. All right, Honorable Femi Saheed.
Hello. Yeah. I'm on. Okay. Thank you very much. I really want to thank the 91.3 FM.
All right. Can we have one house, please? Let's have some calm in the house. Let's have some silence.
I really want to appreciate and thank 91.3 FM for putting up this program. Because it's sort of educative and enlightenment program. Because this is what town hall meeting should be. And in line with that, I want to answer the last question from Evangelist Akitola. From which CDA, sir? Araba. Thank you very much. I want to start from that angle. How many times have you met with the people of your constituency? I'm precisely 19 months in office now. We've met, I've done 2 town hall meetings, twice. I did the first one in Agboyi-Ketu. I did the second one about 2 months back at Ekosisheri LCDA, and widely publicized. This is going to be the 3rd town hall meeting I will be attending within the 19 months of my assumption in office. Sir, I think that answered the question, sir. Thank you, sir. Another question from Mr. Olaiwola Azan. I really want to thank you for supporting me during my by-election, and I really want to answer the questions the way you put it. That is why I have to thank the management of 91 Point, because it's going to bring us closer to our people. There is no lawmaker in Lagos State, I'm saying it emphatically, you can verify, that has constituency allowance. I do not receive 1 naira. So the question of what have you been doing